Hi and welcome to the video. I'm about to take out this BMW R1300GS for the first time. It's my other half's bike. It's just gone through its first service, so it's now run in. And I've resisted taking it out before that because I have a tendency to want to rev a bike a little bit and play around with it, and it couldn't really be done at that point. I'm going to be basically giving some first impressions. I'm only going to be doing about 30 to maybe 50 miles, so not really enough to get terribly used to the bike, but enough to understand a little about it. I should warn in advance, I've ridden a GS 1250, I've ridden a F800GS, and I had an Africa Twin for a couple of years. And in all cases, I didn't really get on with adventure bikes. So it's going to be interesting to see what this one's like, especially considering a lot of the reviews sort of suggest that maybe it's not as much an adventure bike as previous versions. Let's go and see how I get on. So, an hour and a half's ride, 59.2 miles, mostly back roads, some longer A roads, you'll see from the video that's just been. Firstly, let's talk about the seat. I thought that after about half hour I thought, oh god, this is going to be uncomfortable, because it is quite a firm seat. Having said that, the combination of the seat and the suspension, in the hour and a half I was riding it, I didn't get any sign of a numb bum. It kind of settled in, absolutely no trouble at all. Next thing, wind protection. The screen is smaller than I expected. It's hard to tell till you get on the move exactly what a screen's like, but it's definitely smaller than I expected. It does provide protection, but not a huge amount, not as much as I thought. However, wind control is extremely good. You don't get buffeted and you don't get pushed around at all with it. Suspension, so this one's set up for dynamic. It was very good. Soft when you're going over rough roads, didn't dive however when you braked, and maintained its composure in corners, etc. It was a really nice balance of sportiness and of softness basically. I was really quite impressed by the suspension on it. So I have a RT1200. And it has loads of low down torque, it's got lots of power, it's a really nice smooth engine. The difference between that and the engine on this is quite phenomenal. It's 20 brake horsepower difference, which isn't that much, but they have done a big redesign on the engine and you can really feel it. As I said earlier on, I've driven the 1250s, which again are a 10 horsepower up on it, but the difference between the two engines is hard to describe. It's a much smoother engine, it's got more even torque, loads and loads of power, more power than you really need if truth be told. It is a very nice smooth engine. It doesn't seem to matter what gear you're in, what speed you're doing, it will pull you whenever you want it to. And if you want to put your foot down, twist your wrist and really go for it, it's extremely willing. It's more free revving, more alive I'd say than both the 1200 and the 1250 engine. It's a really nice engine. The brakes, really good, loads of feel, nice control, lots of stopping power. The ABS, it did kick in once at the rear, but I probably was being a bit harsh with it. But very nice. Dashboard wise, I really like the positioning of the sat nav. It's higher than on the RT I have, and it's in a really nice, easy to see position. Dashboard itself, I didn't play around with the settings, but the basic setting it's on is really clear, really easy to use. Very nice. I do actually quite like the way that it flashes at you quite vigorously when you're getting towards the red line as well. It makes it quite easy when you're new on a bike to know exactly where to change gear. And lastly, engine noise. It does make a really nice noise when you're riding it. They've tuned the exhaust to make a really good sort of sound for the rider. Negative wise, there's very little I can come up with, to be honest. I am comparing it to an RT, and I don't particularly like adventure bikes, but even with all that, there's very little to complain about the bike. I prefer the amount of wind protection I have on my RT, but then the RT is meant for a different purpose. So, you know, if you like adventure bikes, it's really, really good wind protection. As I say, the wind is very well controlled. Apart from that, it's very hard to criticize the bike. I thought it was a really, really nice bike. I think my only complaint would be, is it worth the money? I mean, it's 20 something odd grand, depending on what you start at, and it's a lot of money for a bike, but you are getting a really nice piece of machinery for that money. Quite understand why anyone would buy one, and I don't think they'd be making a bad choice. And to be quite honest, if someone said, right, you've got to have this instead of your RT, I wouldn't be moaning. But having said that, what it does tell me is I'm really looking forward to trying the RT when they put the 1300 engine in that, and to see what that's like. All in, my first impressions: beautiful engine, beautiful brakes, good wind protection for an adventure bike, very comfortable, extremely good suspension at soaking up the bumps but also keeping the bike under control and not causing any diving, and a great bike to ride, but a lot of money. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. When the bike gets to about 1,000 miles or a little bit over, we're going to be doing a owner review of the bike as well, and keeping track of how we feel as it goes along and how we get on with the luggage issues that we've had.
Who jammer flip?
Who jammer flip?
Engine wise, Oscar's here again. Hello, Oscar. Thank you for joining me. Look. Oscar. Yes, hello. Hello. So I try and do the rest of the video with you on my lap, shall I? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Yes. There'll be a 1,000-mile review coming up, and also a Rufus will be arriving in shot very shortly. Oh no, he's actually too short. Oh no, there he is. There you go, a Rufus.